Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers, and I would like to welcome you to video 1 in the series One Digital Kit 2 Ways, a collaboration with Lisa Fisher. Lisa Fisher and I are both going to use the same kit, which is called Blues and Yellows, and it's by the Journal Boat at Etsy. All the links are going to be below the video, so don't worry, you'll be able to get Lisa's YouTube channel and Facebook group. In my Facebook group, you're obviously on my YouTube channel right now. And so I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to try to keep each video to 45 minutes at the most. And so we'll see how many we end up with. I believe Lisa's the same way. We're going to try to do 4, maybe 5 videos, and that be the series, but we're not exactly sure. We're just going to kind of go with the flow and see where it goes. So for this, for my project, I've decided to make a flip book, and this is not going to be your mother's flip book. So now this is a basic flip book that I made quite a while back. And I think it was like my second project that I ever made. And so a basic flip book is pages glued together, usually manila folders because they already have that fold in them. And then you glue every other page together and it flips up this way instead of folding this way like a book, but it's still a book. Okay, so that's our basic. Now for this project, we're going to go over what you're going to need, and you're going to need the yellows and blues junk journal if you're going to make it exactly the same. Over at the Journal Boat at Etsy, it's very inexpensive. I know it's less than $5, and it may even be $3. So you can get that. You're going to need approximately 5 manila folders. I told you it wasn't going to be a little one. 2 business junk mail envelopes. And the ones that I'm using are 3 7/8 by 8 5/8. The 3 7/8 is this side. And that's this side, and then this side is 3 1/4 by 8 5/8. All right, so it just depends on what size you're using. We may have to cut these down anyway, so it's probably not going to matter if your business envelopes, your junk mail envelopes are the same or not. Okay, we're going to need 5 of these envelopes that are called check envelopes. Normally I kind of freak out if it has the security colors on the inside, but these just happen to be blue, so I'm not going to freak out, I promise. So we're going to use at least 2 inside to make pockets, and then we're going to use another 3 to make this booklet to put in the center. We're going to use 1 invitation envelope, and the invitation envelopes are 5 5/8 by 4 3/8, and it doesn't matter that this is different like this on the inside. In fact, this is an advantage because we're going to whack the top off of it. We're going to use a CD envelope, and these are 5 by 5. We're going to use some micropore tape, and it's spelled MICROPORE, and you can get it on Amazon. And because of the colors of this kit and because it's going to look nifty, we're going to use the brown. You're going to need some ribbon. We're going to put ties on both sides. Okay, so you're going to need some ribbon in a coordinating color. I chose blue, this dark blue. You're going to need some Velcro dots. Now, I know this looks like there's black ones, but there's clear ones in here too, and that's what we'll be using. And some sort of ink to ink your ephemera. We're going to tape up the book, so you're not going to need ink for that. But I'm either going to use tea dye or vintage photo, but I think vintage photo is going to be too dark, and tea dye is my new favorite color. Well, that and bundled sage, which I really like. But that's too dark for this too, even though it's a really pretty kind of a green gray. And we're going to need, and I forgot to get some out, we're going to need some coffee dyed or some alcohol ink sprayed paper. And I think that's everything we're going to need. You're going to need your basic crafting tools and glue. And you're also, to help yourself out, if you have a scoreboard, that's going to be great. We're only going to need it once, but for what we need it for, it will help you out. Okay, so now the kit is really pretty. It has these horizontal pages. There goes my dog. The upstairs dogs. I have a new neighbor setting him off. Put you on hold. I'm sorry about that. My new neighbors upstairs have 2 dogs. And every time they bark, then my dog barks because he thinks it's a dog outside. And then all of a sudden, all 3 dogs are barking. And insanity ensues. So we left off looking at the kit. In fact, instead of me showing it to you sideways, let me show it to you this way. They're very, very pretty pages. I use, on a side note, the paper that I use is 67 pound or 62 pound paper by Neenah, N-E-E-N-A-H. It's amazing. And what you want to get is the vellum finish. This is not vellum paper. It's just a vellum finish, and it feels so much better than just regular cardstock. Now, they have a lightweight, a medium weight, and a heavyweight. This is considered the lightweight, and it's the only one that has the vellum finish. If you want to cut out some of your ephemera to make it thicker in the 110 pound, then that will be fine. It won't matter. But for the basic pages, I highly recommend. And you can get 325 pages, 350 pages for $13. So it's actually cheaper because you get more pages. You get more than the 250. So anyway, so there's this page and this page, this page, and that page, and this one, and this one. Oops, which is upside down, so it's got a writing part on it, and then it's got some backing papers, okay, that are pretty. I have 2 different colors, 2 different versions of the same page, because one was printed with my old printer and one was printed with my new printer. All right, so here I did get out some coffee dyed paper. But we're going to need more than that. All right. So for part 1 of this, well, that was the introduction. Section 2 is we're going to create the base of the book. So I'm going to put you on hold and get all this stuff out of the way. And then when I come back, we will have our paper trimmer and our manila envelopes all ready to go. Okay, we're back. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these manila folders down until we have several of these. Each manila folder makes 2, and then they flip up like this. And that'll be our flip book, and we're going to glue them together. We have the hardest time hanging on to these. I don't know why, but we're going to glue them together like this. And so in a couple of places, instead of gluing all 4 sides together, we're going to leave one side open, and then we'll have some side pockets. Okay? So to cut these down, I've already got these 2. We want them to be 8 inches tall. Remember, the hinge is the top, so you want to cut off the bottom. You can save these tabs if you want. Maybe you want to put the tab on your side pocket. I usually do a writing card on one side and decorative, kit paper on the other side. So I really wouldn't have anywhere to hide the tab unless the writing paper was thicker than, coffee dyed paper. Then we're going to cut it this way, 5 1/2, flap at the top. I always like to make double sure with the manila folders. Okay. I should have done more than one ahead of time, but you guys like hanging out with me. Now remember too, these are from a factory and they make millions of them, so some of them might be just a smidge off. Alright, so that gives us 4. Which is not 4 pages, because remember, we're gluing together every other page. So let's see, 5 1/2. 5 1/2. And let's see, that's going to give us 1 2 3 4 5 6. We'll do one more because we're going to do something different on the back, and that will give us an odd number. 8 inches high, crease on the left. And did I double sure there? No, but it was all right. 5 1/2 and 5 1/2. I did it again. Where were you guys telling me to do it twice? How come I didn't hear you? You're supposed to be keeping track of me. You're the boss of me. Okay. So now the next thing we want to do, and if you've ever watched any of my tutorials, you know I love to paperclip, and you know I love to number things. So we're going to keep one out, and then let's see how many pages this gives us. So we're going to have a cover, and then you open it and you have 1 and 2. And then these 2 are going to be glued together. So then you'll have 3 and 4. Then, so let's paper clip these. You may hear the shaking noise of a paper clip container. I got a few out, but okay. Doesn't have to be exact. We're just seeing how many pages, and we're going to mark where we want to put our pockets. So then paper clip these together. And then we're going to do these. I like doing flip books. I've actually did a duplicate of well, that's not the original owl one. The original one had, you know, more decorations and stuff on it. That one I got partway through and never finished decorating it. But the first one that I did, oh, and as it gets higher, you have to be careful because when you're stacking it up like this, you've got the thickness of this. You see what I mean? So you need to make sure you're laying them on top of each other. Okay. 5. I'm getting my ups and downs confused. This may be enough. See? Yeah, I may have cut. Well, I still would have needed a half. So I cut half of one too much. Okay, let's see how many pages this gives us. So that's 2. Then these are glued together. 3, 4. We're going to have 5, 6. And you really do need to number these because we have to take it apart to work on it. Well, part of the way. 7, 8. 9, 10, and the back. Now, this may be one batch too many, or one set too many. 8, and then 9 is the back. Let me double check on this one. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, oh no, 10. Yeah, because it's, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's how we're gonna roll. So we'll set these two aside. No, I did cut one extra then. It's okay. That's a common size that I use for manila folders. Now, so we're all happy as clams until we have to start labeling some more. Otherwise, it's going to get confusing. So now we want to flip through here and we want to think about where we would want our pockets. Now, I'm going to put one on one side and one on the other side. So I'm going to go with one on this side on number 4. So I'm going to write pocket. You don't want to write it too close to the edge. We're going to put this tape around the edges, but the tape is see-through, or it's semi see-through, and in fact that might be a little too close. But the paper's going to come out. You know what I mean? But what this means is that since this is the pocket, we're only going to glue it on 3 sides. So, for example, on the cover 1 and 2, if you unpaper clip it, we're going to be gluing all 4 sides on both papers. So I put a G on the sides to be glued. Okay? So then on this one with the pocket, you're going to need to write pocket, here. Now this side is not going to have paper on it. It's going to be the inside of the pocket. So you definitely don't want to write it very close. And then you're going to put a G and a G and a G for the sides. You're going to glue. Then this is going to be the other half of the inside of the pocket. All right, the only reason we labeled it here is so we remember where our pocket is for now. So then the other half of the inside of the pocket we need to label, and I'll show you why in a minute. Well, because of the gluing. So we're going to glue on that side, and this side, and then we're going to write pocket here, even though we don't glue on this page. Okay, so now I want to, we're going to be gluing so we can unpaper clip. I want to put my other pocket here. I want to put it on this side. You can have more than two. There's no rule that says that you have to do it exactly the same. Okay, there is a rule. You have to do it exactly the same as I do, or you're getting in big trouble. So here's the inside of the pocket. I'm going to glue these together. Here's the other half of the inside of the pocket. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's go for it. Actually, there's something I want to put on the back. So let's go back one. So it's going to be glue. Yeah, we can do, let's see, these will be glued together. So actually, we could, yeah. So let's do on 5 and 6, we'll do a pocket on one side and then a pocket on the other side on 6. So that means we need to mark the insides. And then we're going to glue, 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 and glue, glue, and glue. I wrote a 6. My brain got tired of writing G's. All right, now to mark the parts that you're going to glue so that you don't get your pages and your glue where you glued them together, you're going to go through, now that you've marked where your pockets are going to be, you've got the gluing and the glue on that one, you've got it on this one and this one. I couldn't resist, I had to write it out all the way. And then on this last one, you're going to write all the G's. Okay, so now when we make the book, on the front and the back, it's going to be a 3-page because it's going to be one side of the manila folder and then the inside. So that's why we have a cover 1 and 2. And then the last 2 pages, which are what, 9 and 10? Yeah, 9 and 10, and then a back. All the rest of them are glued together in the center. So that takes out that extra page that you would have. Now, we're going to tape around the edges of the paper or the folders so that we don't have to ink this whole thing. Plus, even though this looked alright inked, but I wanted to go for a different look. So we're going to use this tape, and it's not going to be this wide, it would be a waste, but and we want the edges to be taped as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the tape on and then wrap it around. Okay, now I understand that on the pages where you're gluing the page to the page, that wraparound part of the tape is technically wasted, but it's the easiest way to do it. So that means we want to be able to see the tape on the insides of the pockets, because it's not going to be glued together to anything. So wherever we have a pocket, we have to tape that ahead of time before we start gluing. So this is the part why you numbered it, because you're going to have to start taking it apart. Don't take it all the way apart. Just take the whole pile and slide it to the side. Okay. Make sure the end is straight, because you're going to see the corners and along the sides. Now, the sides don't have to be perfect, because the paper's going to cover, but you're going to have an eighth that you see, and this particular tape has a little bit of a pattern. It sort of looks like that grid on the metal side step things you put on a truck. I have totally had a brain freeze and forgotten what they're called. Okay, then you put it to the bottom, and you want to cut it off. You can go a smidge past, just in case you don't cut it straight. Then you're going to flip it over, and then you're going to fold it over. And see, that does both sides of your... And then you want to trim it off straight. This is the part where you need to cut it straight. Okay, so that's one side of one pocket. Now here's the other side of the pocket. So we need to do the same thing. And this is where it gets fun, because we've got another pocket here. So we're going to have to do opposite sides of this one, and then one side on that one. And then when I flip through, then you'll see why we're doing it this way. And if you want to err on any particular thing, it's going to be to put the extra length or the extra width on the inside part of the pocket, because that way when you open it, you're going to see it. And that's the whole point. That way we don't have to do any kind of inking inside of a pocket or anything. It'll all look the same, you know, consistent throughout. Try not to tape them shut. Do as I say, don't do as I do. I'm going to cut this off. Okay. So now what happens is, excuse my, I'm having a voice thing today. So now what happens is, as you're flipping through the book and you get to the pocket, you go to take your card out, and you see this nice finished look on the inside. So now we need to do it for this one. Now you have to be careful when you do the tape. If you get a wrinkle, then you want to cut it off straight again. You want to make sure to bring the tape right up to the crease. See, you can see the word pocket right through there. Oh, that's a numbered side though, so it doesn't matter. There's going to be paper on that side. See, numbers came in handy again. I must have tape on my scissors. Oh, I did. There it is. We're going to wrap it around. Now we're going to do this one and then we'll be done with those. It seems a little complicated or a little confusing, but it's not. When you start doing it yourself, you'll be like, oh, all right. Now this is the glue side, which means that's where you're going to be looking inside the pocket. So I know where I'm going to tape, so I'm just going to leave it off. Aha. Okay. That wasn't very straight. Okay, so now we're going to do this last one. You don't want a wrinkle either. Wrinkles are bad. As long as you haven't burnished it or whatever, then then you can pull it up fairly easily. So don't smush it really hard until you're sure that you've gotten it the way you want it. This needs to be trimmed a little bit. Oh, it's on the glue side. It's going to be on the inside. Okay. Now, I'll put this all back together here. You can even see from the top where the two pockets are and how inside it's going to be lined. So you're going to be flipping through. There's going to be a pocket. You're not going to see this. You're going to just see the edge. And then inside the pocket, we'll have paper on both sides. This one could have been a little deeper. And then on this side, on the next page, is going to be a pocket. And so you'll see that. Almost tempted for the sake of time. Well, we'll see. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do, and I'm not going to make you watch me do them all. I just wanted you to see me do all the taping so that you would know how to do it. All right, so now we're going to glue all the sides together that have G's. Now, make sure that you are in the right order because of your pockets. So, just take them one at a time, and you only have to glue one side. But you do need to glue them straight, which does get a little more difficult as you go along because of that stacking thing I was talking about. But zooming around with the glue, you'll see why I marked mine, so I don't zoom right along and glue shut where I wanted to put a pocket. Because I'm not saying from experience that I have done that before. And then just do one of these, and one of these. I've never seen one of these come out exactly perfect. I can see the tape didn't fold quite right there. I don't know if you can see what I mean, but you can see there's a little bit of the tape where I folded it that wasn't right up against the edge of the paper. So I'm going to redo that one, but I'm not going to redo it on camera. Okay, so then you're going to go along, so I can't glue this one right now, but I will show you how to glue one of the pocket ones. So then we get to this next one, and you've got a pocket. So obviously, you're only going to glue the sides with the G, but you do want to go all the way to the edge. And the tape is sort of like a stop sign. Make sure you put your tape side to your tape side. Okay, so now we have 5, 6, 7, 8, and in between here is a pocket. Okay, so we're going to do this one the same way, only I'm going to take the tape off on this one side right here. Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, on this side, and redo it. If I'd have thought about it, I probably could have used the same piece of tape, but now I've murdered it. Could save the rest of it though. I saved these, and you can tape it onto like the side of your table, just where it hangs down. Well, maybe not. I was going to say, because we maybe could use you know, like on some sort of a other pocket or something, maybe we'll want to use a little bit for some trim. So I'm just going to stick this over here off camera. So I'm going to fix this. So this is what I did, just in case you couldn't see it on camera. I put my tape down, everything was going good, but I was talking, apparently not paying as close of attention as I thought I was, being a smarty pants and all. Tape on my scissors again. You know, that tape just sticks to everything. Oh my gosh. Bad joke number, what, 4 already? And what I did was, when I folded it over, I didn't pull it tight enough all the way down. You see how sharp that is now? So you want to make sure that you pull it all the way over so that the tape, there's no gap. It doesn't tape to itself anywhere along the edge. Okay. And we are going to be gluing or taping all 4 sides of every page. So I'm going to glue my pockets. And then, now that you see how to fix that mistake, so we're going to glue along the edge. I make a little circle so I can kind of move them around a little bit. It gives me a little bit of area where there's a little bit thicker glue. So it takes a minute for it to dry. Now you're going to have to make sure as you go along, because they're going to want to slide. So you want to try to make it as close to even as possible. We are going to cover the top, so it's more important that the bottoms are even. Like I said, manila folders are not all exactly square and perfect. Okay. So now all I have left to do is to glue this last one on. Well, since that's all I have to do, might as well just glue the last one on, huh? And this one's going to be all 4 sides. When we'll cover the top, then you can cover it with whatever you want. Obviously, it's your book. So I'm going to use some of the micropore tape first before I decide what else I want to do. Can always do a second coat, I guess. But with this paper, I thought it might be pretty to put some sort of a lace across the top. Just the top. Maybe. All right, so we've got it all glued together, and when we come back on the in the next video, we're going to start with doing the tape on all the pages, and then we are going to work on deciding what papers we want where, or if we want to go one page at a time and do it that way. All right, I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Bye-bye.